Hey everyone, welcome back to another Godzilla Battle Line video, and today we have our pathway guide for all of the new characters added to Godzilla Battle Line. So that is Godzilla Earth and Jet Jaguar 73. However, this season in particular, we also have, Godzilla Ultima becoming a leader, Fire Rodan becoming a leader, and Ghidorah not only becoming a leader, but also being able to evolve into Mechakingghidorah. So I'm going to talk about the two newest characters first. Then we're going to talk about Ultima and Fire Rodan, and then King Ghidorah. So if you want to know their logs, stick around, because this is probably going to be one of the longer log breakdown videos that we do. But let's hop into it. This is the Miro board that we have in the Discord, and I will link this in the description. It is free. You don't need anything to go on it. You just need the link, which will be linked in the description. And basically, all the entries in Battle Line, when you open up your maps, it looks like this, right? You get these texts. They all tell a story, and each character has their own individual story to tell. And so you can find out by looking through the story in your logs that come through what you're going to get. So this is the Burning Godzilla logs, for example, and this is Burning Godzilla, obviously. So let's take a look at the stories and the pathways that you're going to have to follow in your expeditions to unlock some of these characters, right? It's totally random. You can't control it, but the least that you could do is be able to, tell who you're going to get. Jet Jaguar 73. He is on the path that is connected to all of the machines except Super X, which it starts at midway through our expedition. We were surprised to hear a mechanical noise in the distance, distinct from the sounds of nature we had grown familiar with. So if you're opening up a legendary map, there's only two possible characters that can be, and it's both of the Jet Jaguars. Keep in mind, any other kind of map, it can be any of these pieces, except for Super X. Right? Yeah, Super X doesn't connect to that. Super X has its own thing, but any other of these machine pieces it could be. So if it's a legendary map, it's one of these two. So, Jet Jaguar 73. After you go through and you get, could there be some kind of facility in this place? We move forward, relying on our ears to guide us. We investigate our surroundings. Then you get to Jet Jaguar's unique logs. During our expedition, we came across a vast clearing. A small laboratory had been erected in the center. Not to be confused with Jet Jaguar Singular Point, which mentions a local factory. We found the door to the laboratory unlocked and could hear a distinctive mechanical sound coming from inside. Entering the laboratory, we were met by a humanoid machine who bowed politely to our party. One of the most wholesome logs in the entire game. Love it. Jet Jaguar 73. That is his story. That is his logs. If you can see those in your map, that's who you're getting. Next is Earth. Earth follows the very same path as about 90% of the Godzillas in the game. I believe the only Godzilla that doesn't follow this path is Ultima. I don't count the mechas or space or Biollante, obviously, as Godzillas. Sometimes some people do. But all of the Godzillas have the same basic path. It always starts with we have discovered colossal footprints. Oh, it's up here. We have discovered colossal footprints firmly stamped into the ground. A thorough search will be conducted in the hopes of locating more. The footprints stretch onwards. We will use them as our guide while keeping an ever-watchful eye on our surroundings. A thunderous roar rang out from up ahead. The footprints appear to be leading us straight to the source. So, this actually, I'm pretty sure this section has the highest density of 4 stars, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the bug one does. But this one, it used to be able to get you Kong, but it can get you Kiryu, Ultima, and all the other Godzillas, right? So, if we follow it all the way down, in addition to footprints, there are signs of a thick, heavy tail being dragged across the ground behind them. That is the surefire indicator that you will get a Godzilla. All of the Godzillas, except for Ultima, are identified by this tail being dragged behind them. So, Earths. All of our electromagnetic devices have suddenly stopped working. Powerful electromagnetic waves appeared to be responsible. As we continued on, an imposing creature came into view. Its body the size of a mountain, it stood there idly. That is how you get Godzilla Earth. Now, his mentions electromagnetic pulses. I believe Mechagodzilla, yep, right here, talks about an electrical discharge. And it also, Space Godzilla connects to the same one sometimes, and he can also have, and all our electrical devices are behaving strangely. Could something be emitting a powerful electromagnetic wave, right? So this is different than Earth's. It looks very, very similar, but it's different, right? That's as all, you know, our electrical devices are behaving strangely, could suddenly be emitting by electrical wave, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and then all of our electromagnetic devices have suddenly stopped working, so can be confusing, but this is the correct one for Earth. Next, let's talk about Ultima since we're already in this section. Like I said, all the Godzillas are connected to a thundering roar rang out from up ahead, and Ultima is the only one that does not mention his tail being dragged, so what does it talk about? Well, as we headed in the direction of the roar, we noticed what appeared to be red sand floating through the air. Ultima and Jaguar Singular Point at this time are the only Singular Point monsters added to this game. Anguirus Singular Point is going to be coming at some point since he's a poll winner, top 5. But as of right now, the only character's logs that mentions red sand floating is Ultima. The volume of red sand increased as we continued until it became difficult to see. We arrived at the location where the roar came from. The creature responsible for the noise was emitting a pale light into the sky. As long as you see mention of red sand as of May 2022, that is Ultima. No idea if Anguirus is going to mention it or not, but Anguirus, you know, regular Anguirus that we have 1955 also comes from a thunderous roar ring out up ahead, so maybe it might be safe to assume the other Singular Point Anguirus come from there as well. Fire Rodan. Now, Fire Rodan comes from the flying block of text, and the same goes for Ghidorah, Mechakingghidorah. So, here's where it differentiates, though. A dark figure blocked out the sun above us for a mere moment. Before flying off into the distance, we resolved to hurry after it. All the flyers are basically connected to this, or any outer space monsters are connected to this. As we continued our pursuit, we heard a booming roar from the direction the figure had flown. Once again, connects the flyers all together, the space monsters together, and some of the bugs together, Leo specifically. So, progressing further, I was going to say processing further. Progressing further, noticed a lot of trees appearing to be torn down by the wind. I'm like having reading comprehension issues. Upon inspecting the trees, we surmised that the sudden and fierce gusts were almost certainly responsible for their destruction. We pushed our way through the gale till we found ourselves in a large open area surrounded by tall cliffs. A creature was perched one of the cliffs, one that looked much like the ancient pterosaur, but we knew instantly it was far more fearsome. So, I do apologize, and it sounds like there are spelling mistakes in this, and I translate these one-to-one from the text. It's in the game. There's translation issues the same way that in the game Kong's leader ability says in a secular motion instead of a circular. It's just a one-to-one, so I could probably clean them up a little bit, but I'm translating it how it is, you know, meant to be in the game. But that is Fire Rodan's, and he does mention trees falling down. Both the Gigants, I believe, also mention trees, and the Kamacuras mention cutting down trees and stuff like that as well. So don't get confused. Rodan's mentions gusts of wind as well as the trees, and no one else mentions gusts of wind and the trees. That's an early indicator to know that you've got Fire Rodan. Next is this guy right down here, Ghidorah and Mechakingghidorah. So just like Fire Rodan, they come from, as we continued our pursuit, we heard a booming roar from the direction the figure had flown. But unlike Fire Rodan, Mechakingghidorah comes with progressing further, we came across some kind of crash site. It was clear something of astronomical proportions had fallen from a great height. And, you know, that has a lot of the flyers in it and any of the space monsters in it, you know. Also some of these machines. Any machines that fly, I should say. So, Mechakingghidorah and Ghidorah. Investigating our surroundings, we found not only signs of a fall, but also rows upon rows of trees that had been mowed down. Could this be the work of our gargantuan creature? In the middle of the night, we were awakened by a fierce roaring rather than a lone creature. The noise seemed to have come from multiple beasts. We finally located our target. Much to our surprise, there was no group of beasts. Rather, it seems a single creature's 3 heads had been responsible for the tremendous roars. That is the roars, or that is the logs for Ghidorah and Mechakingghidorah. And like I said, if you want to take a look at this yourself, we have cataloged every single character that has come to the game. If they're here or not, you know, Kong and G21 are on this as well. So basically, actually every single unit that's ever been to the game is on this list. So if you need this information, once again, it will be in the Discord Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you all on the next one. Bye bye.